Hey everybody, this is London Bridge Bricks. In this video, I'll be reviewing issue number 32 of the official LEGO City magazine. It includes a foil bag of Pete Python, LEGO City's answer to Tom Cruise. So here it is then, the latest and greatest LEGO City magazine. Now as always, this is brought to us by Immediate Media. It's issue number 32 and it retails here in the UK for £4.25. Along the top here we've got the awesome LEGO set minifigure and rapide motorbike. And if I can't be honest, it does look really good, doesn't it? It was definitely something that drew me to this month's magazine. My preference is always the minifigures if I can get them. But I've got to be honest, I do like it. The motorbike, it looks brilliant. It actually looks quite similar to one that I built just a few weeks ago, the Monkey Kids polybag delivery bike, and I thought that looked pretty good. And this one I'm pretty excited about building as well. But anyway, we'll come back to that in just a tick later on in the review. On this page here, we've got details here, the Daredevil detective, can he crack the case? And we've got some Sky Police, some epic facts about them. We've got the details of the posters, then flipping up the foil bag, got some jumbo jet action there, and we've got some details there of our minifigure and these builds as well. I've got some amazing prizes being given away in this as well. So yeah, looking pretty good, isn't it? Anyway, let's crack on and get through this. So page 2, and we've got ourselves just an advert. It's the kind of the latest LEGO 2020 Explore the World sets. I still say though that this ship looks absolutely fantastic. I really do. I saw it at London's LEGO Leicester Square and it's absolutely massive. I think it's something like 3 foot long or something like that. It was huge. But let me know in the comments below if you've actually built this set, because I think it's an absolute cracker. I really do. Anyway, page 3, and like all the magazines, we've got ourselves an index one. I like this one because it's set out very different to the likes of Ninjago and Star Wars, and it's kind of nice because it's its own magazine. It makes it its own. We've got right at the top there, Pete Python is on the case. Anyway, other pages that are going to be giving us some details and stuff. We've got page 6 here, we've got the details of the foil pack. Page 9, we've got ourselves a current in page as well. And page 28, we've got this double spread page full of missions and details about the LEGO aeroplane, which is kind of cool, isn't it? Anyway, let's get going, shall we? Page 4, and our comic literally kicks into gear. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, guy comes in and he says, Pete, you put me behind bars. And he says, my name's Pete Python, private detective. It's kind of like almost like a superhero slogan. As soon as he says it, he turns into this Pete Python, private detective kind of guy. Anyway, next page, page 5, and all the mayhem's over and done with. Pete's dealt with him pretty quickly and he gets a mysterious knock on the door. So page 6, as I just said a moment ago, and it's we've got the details here, the full pack instructions, which looks pretty good. And like I said, I'll be reviewing that a little bit later on in this review. And then page 7, and it's straight back to the comic, and Carol Yee tells Pete that she reckons the mayor has been replaced by another guy dressed as the corn on the cob dude. it's bizarre. It's almost ridiculous. But anyway, let's go with it, shall we, with the comic. Page 8, we get ourselves some puzzles. This one looks like we've got some sort of spaghetti puzzle here, and this one here looks like it's some sort of encryption code puzzle, which is pretty cool, doesn't it? It reminds me of the old Blackberries that used to get way back in the day. Then over here on page 9, we got ourselves some crafty current page as well. I think it's a nice idea actually. It's nice artwork. It's kind of like what comics look like before they've been inked or something like that, isn't it? And we've got that airport there in the background. That's pretty cool. I like that. I think it's pretty smart. Oh, nice. Page 10, we get ourselves a double page spread of the comic here as well, and Pete's not getting anywhere fast, so kind of jumps on his bike and he starts asking around some of the kind of the usual suspects as well. Page 11, we've got this torrential storm kind of kicking off in the city, and I kind of like the way they've kind of drawn this as well. I think the artwork, like all these magazines, I think they're absolutely brilliant. I really do like it, and I'm really into comics, so I do kind of appreciate it, even if I don't necessarily like the story. But actually, the story on this one is pretty cool, and you'll see why later. So anyway, you've got the clouds here, and you've got the rain pouring down here, and you kind of get this kind of, it adds more drama to the comic, I suppose. But anyway, just down here on 10, he spots someone looking a bit dodgy. So anyway, so there's a big chase ensues, and yeah, look at it, they're jumping over the top of roofs and all sorts of things going on there. So here we go, as per normal, the tension mounts, and boom, we're straight into a puzzle. And again, just like that, double page spread of the comic, got a double page spread of the puzzle as well now. So over here, you've got to work your way through the maze and pick up a figure or two and some of the other puzzles as well. You kind of just figure your way kind of through it and figure your way through these other puzzles as well. That's pretty good. I'm liking that. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Oh, well, I like this picture here as well, the burning marshmallows. And just by coincidence, those burning marshmallows will be featuring in an up-and-coming review in the next week or so as well. It's kind of cool. So, page 14. Yay! Pete confronts the man, and the man spills the beans, backing up Carol's story. So, the game is afoot. And talking of feet, look at this for a foot. A giant T-Rex foot here. We've got ourselves, Pete's kind of tracked down some details. He's kind of backtracking on what the guy told him that he saw and stuff. And then Pete spots a clue on the T. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Liking that. Page 16. Now, what I'm really liking about this particular magazine is that the puzzles are completely integrated with the comic as well. So Pete finds and spots a clue, and on page 16 you've got to crack the code and kind of decipher it, which is pretty good actually. It's almost like an interactive comic. I think that's quite clever actually. So page 17, we've got ourselves our posters. Looking good as well. Again, love the artwork, I really do. So Pete Python, he's got this thing about carrots. If you notice all the way through it, anything he's eating is carrots. But I think that looks quite cool. And I'm liking this as well. That's really cool. That is, yeah. That's a kind of classic Lego City minifigure view here. Look, getting autonomous like it is now at the moment, of course. We hit the fall. And then you've got the airport here. Again, completely integrated with our comic this month. And again, you'll see a little bit why that is later as well. Pete Python, private detective. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Good artwork, good posters. Can't really ask much more than that. Pretty cool. So, page 21, and we go from posters to puzzles. And this is one of my favourite ones, actually. This is kind of just a spot the difference. Just a nice one to do if you're having a quick break or something like that. So, page 22, and yay, we are back to the comic, and Pete, he's back to eating his carrots as well. Anyway, he's still trying to figure it out, and Carol and him meet up over here at Bob's Best Burritos. Of course, he doesn't have a burrito, does he? He has another plate of carrots, like you do. So anyway, page 23, and it turns out that actually Bob may have actually spotted something. I'm liking the time machine picture. This time machine, it reminds me of the time machine from like a film from way back. I think the film was actually called The Time Machine, and I think they've copied it there. But I can't think actually of another time machine that Lego's actually ever done. I mean, I know they've done the TARDIS, but let me know again in the comments below. Has Lego ever actually done some sort of time machine or something like that for Lego City? Yeah, I don't know, but it'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Maybe something for Lego ideas even. Anyway, page 24, and Pete saw the mayor being taken away by two very suspicious chaps, and he remembers part of the car registration number. And again, like I was saying, the integration between the puzzles and the comic are brilliant, because over here, you take what Pete spotted, that little bit of registration detail that Pete knows about, having spoke to Bob, and over here, you've got to try and crack the code with it. Now the question is, can you and can he crack the code? Of course you can. And he has here as well. So page 26, and Pete's cracked the code, like I kind of knew he would, and he's off to the airport just as the sun's coming up. So he's been there all night, he's been there all day. So anyway, here we go. So Pete's kind of flying his way, well, not flying really, he's driving so fast on his motorbike that he's practically flying. Anyway, comes into the airport and you can see the plane's taking off and he's got to get to it. So anyway, he does a bit of a Luke Skywalker underneath the AT-AT. It's like knock, knock, like you would do that anyway. And there's the mayor, and there's those two dodgy looking chaps as well. So anyway, so Pete comes up through the floor of the plane and he seizes the two guys there. Anyway, it's all kind of good light hide fun. Anyway, so this is quite cool as well. And again, all part of this integration and stuff like that. It's quite cool because you've got this crossover here between the comic and the puzzles, and this little bit of info here, and this great big huge passenger plane. I mean, there's two big sets that have come out in Lego City in 2020, and that is of course the boat that I was talking about earlier on, and you've got this great big plane as well. And again, let me know if you've actually built it. It's completely integrated with the comics. You've got this guy over here, I wish I had a flashy convertible like that. It does look pretty cool, doesn't it? It's just like a plane, passenger plane and a cargo plane all in one. You got the airport there, the mini airport, and of course this all comes from set number 60262. And again, it doesn't actually tell you what the set details are on here. I don't know why that is the case. Again, let me know if you know why that is. But this particular set retails here in the UK for £90 and comes with an absolute stonking 9 minifigures as well, which is probably all these ones as well. But of course, like all these things, there's a bit of a mission as well, and you've got to spot all sorts of different things going on as well, like Pete's carrots as well. Look, there's one there, and you've got to spot his motorbike as well. And I think if you look very carefully just there, you'll just spot one of the tyres there behind the tower. Anyway, that's that. But let me know, like I said, if you've actually built that set. So, page 30, and we've got Duke Detain. He's getting in on the action, and he's going to take down the fake mayor now that Pete Python has actually rescued him here. I love the fact that they've taken him off there and they've put some sort of foil pack over him now, to just in case he catches cold. But there we go. There's another one of those Lego City Adventure characters there. That's cool, isn't it? I'm liking it. There's Pete's mobile phone. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I wonder if they ever did a phone like that, I'd ever buy one. I'd probably not, actually. I'd never get that in my pocket, that's for sure. So anyway, so the world is put to rights once again on page 31. And then, of course, it actually ends the way it started. Someone smashes down the door and you got Pete Python. You put me behind bars. In case, for the last time, people, my name is Pete Python, private detective. And of course, it will then kick into gear. So that's pretty good, isn't it? I'm liking that. It's pretty good. It's good fun. Anyway, really good fun. So, where are we up to next? Page 32. And we got ourselves a hero profile here from the Lego City Adventures. And let me know as well in the comments, do you guys and girls out there, do you watch the Lego City Adventures? If you do, what do you think of it? And who's your favourite characters as well? Anyway, so we've got ourselves a profile here of the rookie partner, who's part and parcel of the Air Police Patrol, which is kind of cool, isn't it? I'm liking that. It's a good little figure as well. Let me know if you've got that figure too. Anyway, and there's some scenes here where she actually appears in the Lego City Adventures cartoon. So, that competition that we were talking about earlier on as well, this is it. It's not even really a competition as such, really. It's more of a giveaway, really. All you got to do is fill in these details, a little bit of marketing spurb. They just want some feedback that, you know, why you buy this comic and what do you think of it in the magazine and what would you like to see, and do you get any other ones, and have you already got any of the Lego City toys? So, you know, you feedback your feedback to them, you know, tell them what you think and feel about the magazine, and you've got a chance of winning all these prizes, and these are really good prizes. So I definitely think you should do that. I know I'm going to be doing it, that's for sure. Anyway, page 34, we're nearly at the end of the magazine. We've got ourselves details of who's coming up next month. That's Duke Detain again, and it looks like we get a little bit of a build with it as well, which is kind of nice as well. I mean, even like all these things, I always think the minifigures are fantastic. Sometimes the side builds aren't all that, but you know what? They're good old Lego elements. You're always going to find a use for them there. So that comes out on 11th of November. So got a long way off before that, yeah. We've got to get through Halloween, and there's all sorts of stuff going on with that, with live streams and everything. So do check back there, folks. And then over here, we've got our solutions there to all of our puzzles, which I'll cover up. And then over here, we've got ourselves some cool memo game as well. Now, this memo game actually features on the back as well. So it looks to me, this is like a sort of a memory game here. You kind of cut all these out here, and then what you got to do, you got to try and pair them up like so. And that really is just like the old game Snap that I used to play when I was a kid as well. So I really enjoyed that. I really think that was a really cool magazine actually, and I think the comic strip was quite good fun as well, and I loved all that integration. But anyway, so that is the magazine. But let's go and take a closer look, shall we, at the foil pack. So here he is then, Pete Python, the private detective. Or should that be Pete Python, the motorcyclist? I'll let you decide. But anyway, he comes with this, what I would normally say was actually kind of a very bland, orangey brown crash helmet. But as it turns out, it actually goes really well with his motorbike. And we'll take a look at that in just a sec. But anyway, he comes with this kind of cheapy, chappy, chirpy kind of grin about him. I'm liking that. And it's just a single facial expression with this particular minifigure as well. But what I like about it as well is that you've got that kind of minor graze there on his right cheek. I think that looks pretty good actually. Now the one thing I is missing about this minifigure is just the hair. There's no hairpiece that comes with it, you see. It's just the crash helmet. But what I will say is that even if you put the visor down, you can still see that graze there. And the visor itself is actually not quite trans clear. It's kind of like got a slight darkness to it as well, which actually is all right. I think that's pretty good. Now my favorite part of this minifigure by a mile is his torso. I think it looks brilliant. You've got this two-tone green going on there with the actual jacket itself. But what I really like about it is this spectrum analyzer shirt that he's wearing there. I think there's something just quintessentially 80s about it. I absolutely love the vibe and everything about that. So he's got like this black torso with the kind of 3 tones of blue on there as well. And I think it just looks really, really good. Anyway, round his back, you've got a continuation there of some of that two-tone green printing as well, and he's got that hoodie and you've got a couple of creases in there. Just got plain black legs and there's no printing going on the side there, and to be honest you wouldn't really normally have that anyway. And then on the front of the legs you've got nothing going on there as well. I mean, all in, I do think he's actually a really good figure. The only thing that I think is missing is just that hairpiece. So one of the things that drew me to get in this month's Lego City magazine was this, the motorbike. I think it looks absolutely brilliant. Now, just a few weeks ago, I built the Monkey Kid polybag bike and I really enjoyed that. And this one was equally as good. Now, the colours for this are obviously a lot less garish than the Monkey Kids one, but you got that kind of orangey brown colour going on there, which, like I said, matches his helmet perfectly. And there's quite a bit of grey going on there with the grey wheels and the grille area here just underneath the tank and those handlebars. And I think that was quite a good choice of headlight colour as well, being the amber trans clear stud as well. I think it's really nice. It looks really good. Now, the only thing that lets this build down is the front wheels spin perfectly, but the back wheels, they're just too sticky for some reason or other. No matter what I've tried to do, I can't actually improve that. But otherwise, this is a really good motorbike to have. So here's Pete on his dream machine. I think it looks pretty good. But let me know what you think of the combination of the minifigure and the motorbike down in the comments below. So overall then, what did I think of issue number 32 of this month's Lego City magazine? Well, we've got a great magazine that was absolutely packed with great stuff, like a super comic that was really well integrated with all the puzzles. I thought that was particularly clever. There's also some brilliant prizes on offer in a competition that they're holding. And we found out loads more about other Lego City adventure characters as well, including this one in particular, Pete Python. Now, he came with the foil pack and this rather cool looking motorbike. So there you have it, my look at the most recent official Lego City magazine. I hope you enjoyed this quick look inside on what it has to offer in terms of games, puzzles, craft elements and foil packs. And if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, for up-to-date news on London Bridge Bricks, please follow the channel on Instagram and Twitter. And if you're new around here, why not hop on and subscribe and become a big part of the LBB family. I'll leave you now with some videos that I think you might like.